If you guys are sick of wasting money on packs, go check out my sponsor. They offer the cheapest and most reliable way to buy coins straight from the source. Use code MAZE at checkout for 15% off your entire order.
What is going on, boys, and welcome back to another episode of Weekend League Recap. Right here is going to be part 2. If you missed part 1, go watch it. But we're going over games 6 through 10 right now. So if you miss games 1 through 5, you're going to get left behind, and you're not going to understand the plot up to this point, okay? It's a storyline that builds on itself. So go watch part 1. But as for part 2, we got a couple hell games in here. The first one is against a dirty little stream sniper, and the second is against I don't know if I'd call it trash talker, but you know, you match up with those guys and they play in a certain way. They pause the game a lot. They showboat. They do all that griefing stuff that it's like trash talking without actually saying any words. We matched up with one of those guys. And of course, boys, as always, before we get into the gameplay, we have to go over the best and the worst comment of the day. Starting with the worst comment coming from Giants fan, which, surprise, surprise, another L for Giants fans. He says, Maze smells like expired mayonnaise. My mind can't even, like, put together what that would smell like. I don't know. But Giants fan, you're just dead wrong. I don't smell like expired mayonnaise. I smell like sweat and Axe body spray. So I smell like a 7th grader. All right? Get it right. And the best comment of the day coming from Young Shmoney, who said, bought the ebook and won 2 Super Bowls straight. It's insane. Thanks, Maze. No, thank you, Young Shmoney. A, for supporting and buying the ebook, and B, for providing a segue into my shameless plug. If you guys want to be like Young Shmoney or like myself and take cheeks in Madden, you can find an entire offensive game plan over at mazomatic.com. This is an ebook detailing my entire offensive scheme, going over every route combo and every detail that I use to win games in Madden. So once again, you guys can find that entire course over at mazomatic.com, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys watched the last video, you noticed we switched to Dagger Dig Dan about halfway through the video. We did that to get Hot Route Master, obviously, and open up our ability slots. So we got Hot Route Master, Pass Lead Elite on Dan, and then the main thing we added was O-line abilities. We got post up on our center now and natural talent on our tackles, and I immediately noticed a difference with those O-line abilities, helping us get more time in the pocket, especially on 3- and 4-man rushes. Our offensive playbook, as you know, Patriots, and our defensive playbook is the Chicago Bears defense. We're 5-0 going into game 6, hoping to keep the momentum alive. And if you guys remember correctly from the last video, we were on a time crunch, so we had to finish these games as fast as possible. And going into game 6, we are actually a little bit ahead of schedule because we've gotten a few quit outs already, and we're hoping to keep that alive. And what do you know? We cleaned a clock on the first play. Again, scoring 7 points before we even have to step on the field. We started the last video exactly the same because we are 1-800-CLOCK cleaners. You call us, we'll clean your clock. So 7-0 ball game. If we get another stop, you guys know the drill. I'm just going to start chewing clock. And by the looks of it, I think we are going to get a stop. That guy's offense is not up to par. 3rd and 20 here. Not much is open. We end up getting a block shed from Aaron Donald. Going to make it a 4th and very long. He decides to go for it. And if you looked at our play out right there, we're sending the house because that's what I like to do on 3rd and 4th and really long. I don't like to give them time to let deeper routes develop. It is very risky because sometimes you can give up big plays that way, but as you see there, it pays off. We get the stop, and now it's our ball once again at the 10-yard line. From here, up 7-0, we're getting the ball back in the second half. I'm just going to run the ball, chew clock. We have 14-0, and to me, this game is already over. This guy, like I said, you can tell usually pretty early on the pace of the game, and just the way this guy was playing, I didn't think he was going to be able to put together drives. I'm already up by a large amount. We get another interception right there, and again, we're still in the first quarter. And so me trying to get through this game as fast as possible, this is where chew clock Maze comes in. So 4th down, we end up converting. You see we're already in the second quarter now, and we're just going to continue to chew this clock. 3rd and 8, we're passing once again. Wide open, Darren Waller goes down. Guess what? We chew more clock. I didn't even call all my timeouts because I wasn't really trying to score that hard. I was just trying to get a field goal and end the half. We got our field goal. We go up 17-0. We end the half, and now in the second half, we're up 3 possessions with the ball. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to chew the frickin' clock, baby. 4th down right here. We end up dotting. Again, only really passing when we absolutely need to. Already in the 4th quarter, already past the 2-minute warning. My opponent hasn't even touched the ball in the second half. 4th and 12, we convert once again. And so, looking at the clock, we're under a minute to go in the game. This guy did not touch the ball in the second half. However, he was using his timeouts and stuff, trying to extend the game. So I scored on him just to put it in his face, like, I'm that much better than you. I could take up the whole half and score a touchdown. So now the game's 24-0. You can see my opponent is griefing us. He's just trying to delay the game as long as possible. Eventually, he gets kicked for excessive griefing, and we get the victory. So now the record at 6-0, going into game 7. And this is where things get interesting because we match up with somebody who was in my chat. his team name 9-inch Mafia. He is in my chat and says, oh, bro, look at that. We just matched up. So I'm not really buying it that we just accidentally matched up. I don't run stream delay, so if people do try to stream snipe me, it's not that hard, and it happens quite often. And not only that, he stayed in the stream the entire game. Like, he was in the stream typing in stuff, and it's like, bro, like, even if we accidentally matched up, why would you stay in the stream and, like, again, I don't run a delay, so like you can basically see all my play calls. You can hear everything I'm saying. And honestly, I was kind of mad. I was annoyed. I let it get in my head, and you see there starting out the game, we threw a horrible read. That just wasn't open. I tried to roll out Dan Marino. There was a contain, and I just threw a pass that wasn't even close to open. So starting off the game down, I'm starting to get a little flustered, honestly. And when you get angry in Madden, it's never a good thing. You're going to play horribly. But the defense is holding okay. We're in a 3rd and 13 right here. He goes with a run, actually gets a big chunk of yards right there, which is kind of frustrating, giving up a run like that on 3rd down. But now 4th and inches, he goes with a pass. Surprisingly, we forgot to adjust our blitzer on the outside into a hard flat. I meant to do that, but just didn't get around to it, and he ends up converting. So now 1st and 10, we run a little bit of a man coverage on the solo side. We send some pressure, so he has to throw the ball early, and a beautiful click on lets us get the interception. So as you can see, our guy's coming in there screaming. He throws a comeback a little bit early. We click on to Mike Haynes, who dives back, gets the acrobat interception. So the first pick we threw is now erased. We kind of get another chance to catch our bearings, go down, hopefully get some points here, and not make the same mistake twice. So now we're playing a little bit more slowly. We're in the 2nd quarter here. Dan Marino dropping back. Not much is open. I went for a cover 3 bomb, but he manned up the guy that I wanted to throw. Thankfully, we stayed patient in the pocket with Dan, and our man, Big Dick Waller, makes the catch on a broken play, and we get inside the 10. From there, we continue to pass. He runs man coverage again, which is not the look we wanted, but Dagger Dick Dan, or is it Michael Vick? I can't really tell. Gets into the end zone with his legs, and we get the first points of the day, 7-0. So this was another reason why I felt like this guy was stream sniping me, is he was just spamming my one-play touchdown play that I posted on the channel. He was running this like pretty much every time and just rolling out with Vic. He's got 9-inch Mafia instead of 8-inch Mafia. It just seemed like he was kind of trolling. And so again, not really buying the fact that it was just chance that he happened to be in my stream and also matched up with me. It was just a little weird. Whole thing was a little weird. But we get him in a 4th down. Michael Vick, again, rolling out to his left. This time, the guy who was manned up, he was actually cross-manned with Trayvon Merrick, just got toasted on a slant route, and he converts. And that was, again, really frustrating because I felt like we could have got off the field there very easily, and the drive stays alive. So he's continuing to drive now. 1 minute left in the first half, and then he throws an absolute duck. We tried to click on, but it clicked us on to Ronnie Lott because I think we did a little bit too late. But the CPU goes for a swat, despite it obviously being thrown right at his face. And that's just completely random. And this year, I think that's the biggest complaint with Madden 22 is whether or not you catch picks is totally random. Whether you get out of reach when you're quite obviously in reach, whether your guy drops it, whether he goes for a swat, it's all random. And so it's very difficult to play a competitive game when there's things that are greatly affecting the outcome of the game that are totally out of your control. But it doesn't really matter now. He got 7 points, so the game is tied up, and we got to move past it and drive and try to get a touchdown. You see, we only got about 10 seconds here, no timeouts, but we throw a dot into the end zone, but it doesn't call us in. It says we're down at the 1, and with that, the time expires. So we walk away at the end of half with 0 points, despite, as you can see in the freeze frame, we caught it with about a yard or two of space inside the end zone. And then after we get tackled, too, it looks like his elbow should have at least crossed the plane. I don't know, man. We lose out on 7 points there. We give up 7 points when we should have got a pick. So overall, I mean, that's a 14-point swing in the game, and we're playing somebody who's stream sniping. So my blood pressure is through the roof, my guy. And he's spamming my mother frickin' play, my baby. Inside cross. He's just spamming over and over again with Michael Vick rolling out. So I'm starting to get pissed off. It's 3rd and 2. We have an opportunity to maybe put him in a 4th down, and he runs the ball and gets a huge gain. We get a tackle down at the 1 yard line, but it doesn't really matter because Michael Vick is going to run a play action and just roll out left with Escape Artist, and we cannot keep up. So now we're down 7 points. And situations like this, I feel like, are what separate great Madden players from good Madden players. Is, you know, when the game's cheating you, when you're getting really pissed off, because everybody gets pissed off at this game, when the cards are stacked against you, how do you react? How do you play? And as you're going to see in this situation, I don't feel like I played at my best. I started doing things that maybe weren't the smartest, even though we did convert there on the 3rd and 10. 3rd and 7 here, I decided to go for 1-play touchdown. That's just not smart, especially when he's sending 4 or 5-man rushes every time. We get shed, and now we're in a 4th and very long. So on a 3rd and 7, the fact that I went for a 1-play touchdown right there was just strictly out of frustration. It was a horrible play call, not a smart decision, and now I'm in a 4th and long, and if we don't convert, he's already in field goal range, and the game is over because we're in the 4th quarter. So I throw the curl route, low ball, click on, and a inside quarter is what played it. As you look, that's a cover 4. That's an inside quarter that drives down on that, dives, and intercepts the pass. I was kind of baffled by that, but regardless, me even being in that situation in the first place was my fault. I shouldn't have gone for the 1-play touchdown, and as you can see, this guy is still just spamming inside cross, rolling out the Vic, doing the same old stuff. We get him in a 3rd and 7. Thankfully, he's still not in field goal range. Our outside rusher didn't actually come in, and our user not close enough to make a play on the delay fade. We were trying to cover that, but he threw it early enough to where we just weren't in range to dive or cause an incompletion. So with that pass, he goes in field goal range. He starts running the ball quite a bit. And then here from the 15, he's running my setup for inside cross again, rolling out with Vic. We hit him. He doesn't fumble though, and he's inside the 10 now. Once again, continuing to chew this clock down, goes up 2 possessions right now with a 14-point lead. And so now with a minute left, we can try to get a quick touchdown, but we're essentially guaranteed to need the onside kick if we want to stay in this game. We end up throwing a really late streak on the route bounce. We get in range to actually throw a touchdown here. But you're going to see even with the hurry up offense, even when we get up to the line and the clock, we're at 30 seconds now. We are not really going to have time without this onside kick. So we throw the post route on man coverage to Jerry Rice. We get the touchdown, and now we need this onside kick or it's basically GG. So we go with the onside kick. I don't know if this is actually the method to do it. I've never labbed onside kick. We don't recover it, and now it's his ball once again. So even if we get a stop, we're unlikely to have the time needed to go down. He's still running inside cross. Still running inside cross. Still running with Michael Vick. Still not fumbling, and that's how we get our first loss. 6-1 now. And of course, after this game, I swung the ban hammer down and banished that man from my chat for all eternity. And so if you're watching this, man, GG's, but I probably won't be hearing from you again. Moving on to the next game. 6-1 is still not a horrible record. We can obviously still fight from that. And you guys are going to see, it's just going to take a minute because after a loss, sometimes, you know, the anger sits with you. And it definitely sat with me. My blood pressure still elevated, and we make a terrible read on the first throw. That was going to be open if I waited a second longer. Ronnie Lott was just underneath it, and I threw it a bit too early. Again, just not in the right state of mind. Playing like an emotional bitch. A little man baby, if you will, and not playing like a smart Madden player. Following it up on his first drive, I do feel like we should have gotten an interception right here. I've played this wheel route enough where I think Ronnie Lott should animate right there. That out of reach, I don't think is accurate. I think that's just a glitch in the game that you get sometimes. But regardless of the reason, we give up 7 points, and I need to pull it together because I can't get two L's in a row here. We're already down 7. So on this drive, we need to make sure we get points, and not just get points, we need to get 7 because if we go down early in the game, that's how you lose games. An errant throw right there, a little bit behind him, but we end up scoring on a close one, and we tie up the game. So 7-7 ball game right now. His ball, and another opportunity for us to get a stop and erase our first turnover, but we're missing tackles. We're playing sloppy. Sloppier than a Tiana Trump blowgie, if you will.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
And just like that, he's inside the 10, looking to score again. 3rd and 8, we need to hold him to 3 here, and we manned up the running back. We get the pass breakup, and hold him to 3 we do. So that is huge because that puts us back in an opportunity to take the lead. So 1st and 10 here, we're starting at the 27-yard line. We decide to go for a kill shot, 1-play touchdown. It's not really open. We go up, and it is dropped, and then this man decides to pause the game.
And nothing pisses me off more than an infidel who has the impudence and utter disrespect for his king to pause the game.
And oh shit. All right. Looks like we fumbled after all of that. So he paused the game, basically telling me he got cheated, and then he gets a fumble 6 right after. So I guess ball don't lie, but what pisses me off even more is the fact that he comes out for the extra point and sits in victory formation, takes the delay, and then decides to kick his extra point. So he made me sit on that fumble for a whole 30 seconds while I watched the clock drip down, and the level of disrespect, as I said, from this infidel, he will be punished. We're only down 10 points. It's our ball. There's 2:30 left in the half. And all this guy did was light a fire under my ass because honestly, this game was slipping away. I'm down 2 possessions now. He's getting the ball to start the second half. But now I'm pissed off, and so it's go time, baby. You see our reads are a lot better now. 3rd and goal here, only 13 seconds left in the half. We get screamed at, so we're unfortunately forced to take our 3 points because the 3 points here makes it a 1-possession game. So we go into halftime 10-17. But wait, there's one play before half. He tries to force something to the sideline. We get the pick, and then we give ourselves up. There's 1 second on the clock. We give ourselves up, meaning we should be down right there. You don't need to be touched when you give yourself up. But again, EA just can't get the game right, so the clock expires, and we don't get the 3 points at the end of half. So coming out in the second half, though, like I said, a fire has been lit under my juicy, voluptuous ass, and we get a sack on first down. Now it's 3rd and 16. He tries to hurry it up. We, again, are running this crazy pressure. He tries to throw the quick throw to his running back. We cleaned his clock. 1-800-CLOCK cleaners. You call us, we clean your clock. He punts us the ball. So now down 7. It's our ball again, and we have an opportunity to go down and tie up the game. So the fire is still lit. I'm still pissed off at this guy. He's playing like a cock, you know, celebrating, pausing the game, doing that showboating shit after he scores. And so we got to take it to him. That's our only choice. We got to take it to him. 3rd and 2 here. We throw another very questionable read. It doesn't get intercepted. And this man pauses the game yet again. We get it, bro. We get it. You're getting cheated. But don't you ever
goddamn pause my game again, or you will seek my wrath, brother. You will seek my wrath.
Well, back to the game here. You see, we're in a 4th and 1 at the 4-yard line. This is our opportunity to tie up the game. We run the ball with Cordero. We find the hole, and just like that, the game is all tied up. It's his ball still. We're in the 4th quarter, so I still do feel like he has an advantage here, but the game knows that this guy is a dirty, rotten little cocksucker, so he gives us the craziest play of all time. Reggie Nelson jumps up from his blitz, intercepts the pass, and then takes it for 7. And this is the perfect opportunity for me to let him sit on that shit for 30 seconds. That's right, you little pussy bitch. Now I got the lead, and you haven't scored a point since you pulled that little punk victory formation bullshit. And now you're making Stevies. I dropped the pick. You want me to pause the game? No, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you, princess. You're your daddy's little princess, don't you think? Oh, shit. Every time I start talking shit, this guy does something. He throws a pretty nice dot over the middle. I'll give him that. And now he is in scoring range. He rolls out right here. We click on, barely out of reach. That was going to be a dirty click on. If you see, we sent the spy, clicked right back on. Tried to go up, but we just weren't tall enough. But guess what? This guy decides to go for 2 instead of tying up the game. We send our spy at him. This time we click on again, and we got him the second time. The first time, we didn't get the click on. The second time, look at this. We send the spy, we click on last second, and we jump up, and that is just an all-star making all-star plays, baby. So now we got the 1-point lead. All we got to do is chew the clock. You see, we need 1 first down, maybe 2. We get the first down right there from Jerry Rice. He's already used 1 timeout, so we can chew off a full minute of the clock, and we end up punting it back to him with about 20 seconds left on the clock. He's got to go about 40 yards, maybe less, for a field goal for the win. But I trust my defense. We send the house at him, and we're going to force him to make a bad read. The heat comes in, and make a bad read he does. We read him like a book. Jalen Ramsey going to showboat on your ass, son, and you deserve to hold every second of that L. I don't feel bad at all. And if anything, I'm very happy that happened because I have completely forgotten about the L we took. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm on top of the world at this point, and heading into game 9, we are feeling phenomenal, and we are going to play like it. Getting to this next game, this guy's got Vic as well, and Vic with escape artist can be a big problem, especially with the cards, but I saw early on throws like that, this guy does not have what it takes. This game's going to be over very fast. 3rd and 14, we send some heat at him. He tries to roll out with Vic. We get the block shed, we get the strip sack, and we're in the end zone. And like I said, very early on, I knew this was a GG's from the start, and I guess my opponent did as well, because connection your peer has been lost. We get another victory. Now 8-1. We're steamrolling. The momentum is on our side. We're at a nice pace, and going into this last game, I'm not afraid. Despite him having 3 most feared players, I am not afraid, brother. He's starting off on the offensive side of the ball. We are on defense, and we're cleaning clocks early. Man, don't bring that dirty clock on my field, because I'm cleaning clocks on site.
Gay.
Now, I don't really know what happened right here. You guys might notice this as well. But what I've noticed lately in the game is a lot of times when you make fast adjustments on defense, they tend to like jumble together and not work right. And it ran commit. I did not in any way, shape, or form run commit, but I guess we got to fight. We ran a cover 3 beater on our first play, and you notice super late, the outside third came down. So I told the chat, no matter what happens, I'm throwing R1, even if it's super late. I throw it, and it looks like he adjusted it into a deep half that time. So I kind of got baited. A very solid adjustment from my opponent if he did adjust it to a deep half. I'm not really sure why it came down so late the first time, but not the second. But now we are down 7, and it's his ball again. So our defense is going to need to hold strong on 4th down. He tries to throw a covered corner route. and we are able to knock it incomplete. So thankfully we get the ball back. We kind of erase that first drive from history, and we can go tie up the game right now because we're starting in his territory. So first and goal right here, Dan Marino dropping back. Looks like our hitch is wide open, and we end up scoring. And guess what, baby? We're going for 2. We got the 2-point plays now, so if I'm trailing from behind, I'm going to go for 2 a lot of the time early in the game to kind of put pressure on my opponent then to chase points later on. And so you see we got a 1-point lead right here, and if we get another stop, it's going to put even more pressure on him. So obviously we're going to be sending the house. We're going to be sending our usual blitzes, and hopefully our defense behind it will come up. Got him in a 4th and inches right here. I'm not sure if he's going to run the ball, so I'm bringing my safety down. It looks like he's going with the pass, and Ed Reed, the demon in a hard flat, chases down the out route, dives with acrobat, gets up, takes it back the other way for another touchdown. So just like that, we were under a little bit of pressure after our first turnover. We end up getting another stop, getting the touchdown, getting another stop, getting another touchdown, and now we actually have a lead, and the pressure is 100% on my opponent. So 15-7 right now. We're up 8 points, and so he's got to go down, and then he's got to not only score, but convert a 2-point conversion. So this is a position I love to be in. Unfortunately, we're not doing a very good job of covering the hard flats. He's throwing to Marshawn Lynch time and time again. We get him in a 4th down right here. We send crazy pressure at him, force an inaccurate throw, but there was a glitch, and Lawrence Taylor had said he was offsides. If you guys haven't noticed, there is a glitch in the game where every now and then, one of your D linemen will point or do some animation that is out of your control, and it will call him offsides. It just so happened to give him offsides on a 4th down. So he gets 3 points where he really didn't earn it. Like, that should have been a turnover on downs, but again, the game just is broken in a lot of ways. So we're going into halftime 15-10. It's our ball coming out in halftime, and we get caught in a 4th and 20. I should have thrown that a lot earlier. It would have been open, but because I threw it late, the curl flat actually on the sideline was able to come in and dive and make a play on that pass. But it do not matter because we clean clocks, man. 1-800-CLOCK Cleaners. You call us, we clean your clock. Ronnie Lott laying the absolute wood, getting a fumble recovery, and then getting us the ball in his territory. So now we're up 5. We're in field goal range. He has not been able to move the ball on offense whatsoever. The only way he's staying in this game is by getting stops. So I'm feeling a little bit bagged. I end up taking my 3 points, 4th and 19. I'm not going to go for this here. And we take an 8-point lead in the 4th quarter. And the way the game's been going, I do not think this guy has it in him to drive down, get a touchdown, and get the 2-point conversion. As you see there on 1st down, we get a big sack, 10 yards. Then on 2nd down, another big sack, another 10 yards. And now he is in a 3rd and 28 from the 4-yard line. We send crazy pressure again, and Charles Woodson diving out of his socks, making a great play for us and getting the interception already in field goal range. So at this point, we can just run the ball, shoot clock. This guy knows that. And Pierce conceded the game. So we get the victory in those last few games, but we did take the one unfortunate L, leaving us with a record of 9-1. If you guys want to see how we finish this weekend league, tune in tomorrow for games 11 to 15. We continue to fight our ass off and take cheeks. I'll see you boys over there.
Now I'm on the outside.